Sunlight glimmers on the stream, silence precedes the hard work ahead. True craftsmanship begins in quiet. Her wooden cabin and workshop stand ready for the day's work. The craftswoman grips a heavy metal pipe. Her focused pull reveals the toll of bending steel. She measures the metal pipe with a tape, marking the exact cutting points. Precision is key when shaping raw steel. The sparks fade into silence. She examines the fresh cut, ensuring the edge is perfectly flat to prevent any structural weakness in the assembly. She slits the pipe into the bender, grips the long lever, and presses down. Her strength converts into immense bending force. She pulls the lever, forcing the rigid metal to yield. The pipe curves under her guidance, a grueling dialogue between endurance and steel. She hauls an exceptionally long pipe. Adjusting the bender, she prepares to forge a large span arch. This scale demands more physical output. Leaning sideways for leverage, she watches the bend closely. She pauses to check the arc's flow, ensuring structural integrity. She exhales deeply, gazing at the arcing pipe aloft. A hint of relief softens her gaze as the curved metal stands testament to her grit. Her silhouette stands against a vast metal arch. Deep green mountains frame the quiet cabin behind her. She feeds the pipe through the rollers, gripping the rod with rhythmic pushes. She bends the metal, gears responding to her steady hand. As the curvature expands, she commits her entire body weight to the lever. Accompanied by the heavy grinding of gears, the pipe forms a distinct half-moon shape. The physical strain is palpable, yet her focus remains unbroken. She focuses on the joint, making final, precise presses. The circle's curvature becomes perfectly uniform. A simple bend becomes a geometric masterpiece. She releases the lock, freeing the massive ring from its constraints. It trembles slightly upon release, and she swiftly steadies it with her hands. The structure is now fully independent. Shouldering the colossal ring, she walks to the open ground. Lowering it gently, the metal bounces on the mud. The weight demands immense fortitude. She secures her gloves and clamps the ground wire to the pipe. Checking the joint alignment, she readies for fusion. Proper grounding shields against electrical hazards. She lifts her visor to inspect the weld's fullness. A light tap with her gloved hand confirms its solid ring. She lifts the heavy ring, flipping it for better grinding access. Her raw power reveals hidden seams as the metal yields to her touch. She circles the massive ring, scrutinizing its curvature from multiple angles. Her goal is to ensure the large-scale closure remains perfectly circular. She crouches to check the ring's diameter with a string. A frown shows her focus on the next step. She returns to the square tubes, extending the steel tape measure. Her gaze locks precisely on the scale, marking the shift to assembly. She draws a clear cutting line with a bold marker. She pins the tube with one foot, gripping the cutter firmly. As the blade hits metal, a brilliant arc ignites, signaling the start of the cut. Halfway through, orange sparks shower down. She breathes steadily, applying uniform pressure to ensure a clean, straight cut. She restarts the cutter, making an angled cut along the next marked line. Her fluid, hesitation-free motion ensures efficient batch production of support components. With the final cut complete, she stacks the square tubes neatly. This orderly pile marks the end of component prep, ready for assembly. She packs her tools, eyeing the perfect rings, and supports her gaze reflects strict craftsmanship. She hefts a massive hollow ring onto the muddy ground. This foundational step demands both brute strength and precise spatial awareness. She drags out the red welder, enrolls cables, and clamps the ground to the ring ready for heavy welding. She starts reinforcement welding, electrode meeting metal in a bright glare. Her steady hand creates uniform welds crucial for the pillar's strength. As welding progresses, silver pillars rise from the ring, forming a cage-like structure. The shift to 3 dimensions is striking as the skeleton takes shape. Squatting steadily, she fixes the final vertical support with a sustained arc. The peripheral ring closes, solidifying the base. Each welded its rigidity to the framework. She powers down the welder, exhaling deeply as she eyes the ring frame. The vertical base is now set. She lifts the second massive ring into the pillar-studded frame, aligning it with the vertical supports. She prepares to cap the structure with precise coordination. Arc flashes light the upper section as she locks each top connection. The double ring framework becomes impregnable, its integrity secured by strong welds. She finishes the final weld and steps back. The double ring frame stands complete, a monument to industrial precision. Welding each junction, she pauses to inspect the quality sparks fly as she ensures structural integrity with rigorous precision. She sets down the welder, patting the frame to test its stability. Rising, she scans for the next tools, moving smoothly from assembly to prep. Shouldering a metal rod, she crosses the stream on a makeshift plank. The rushing water contrasts with her steady, self-assured pace. She lays out square tubes marking dimensions with a wooden stick. Quiet surrounds her, broken only by crisp metal clanks. This prep is vital for the cutting ahead. Squatting steadily, she wields the angle grinder like an extension of her arm. The severed tube hits the ground with a clang. She swiftly moves to the next part. Inside the circular base, she aligns cut square tubes. Precise control in tight space sets the stage for the vertical matrix. She squats in the center, dons her mask, and begins tack welding. Sparks fly as the metal fuses, securing the geometry for the final welds. She moves to the ring's far side, welding the second pillar with steady, skilled precision. Her professional competence shines through every flawless motion. She bends to weld, smoke rising with the arc. Vertical pillars now rise from the ring, shaping a cylinder. She ducts the smoke to weld high joints. The massive cage structure gradually closes in on itself, demanding strength and awareness. From below, the welding gun sprays sparks, illuminating complex top seams. The junctions appear impregnable under intense heat, locking the apex into its final form. She retrieves a thick iron pipe to serve as the central shaft. Aligning it with the reserved hole, she prepares for insertion. She calibrates the shaft visually to ensure absolute balance, a vital prerequisite for the upcoming heavy-duty welding. She tests the shaft's stability, then prepares to reinforce the opposite side. This symmetry ensures uniform load distribution across the axis. She resumes welding within the narrow frame. Sparks trace complex arcs inside the metal cage, highlighting her precision in such tight quarters. She turns to fetch more parts for the next install behind her. The huge metal wheel shows a strong industrial style. This step moves from welding to assembly. She checks the base level, treats the shaft connections against corrosion, and clears welding slag. This protects critical joints and ensures structural longevity. The giant wheel stands tall in the warm, fading evening light. She switches to the angle grinder, sending orange sparks flying as she smooths the weld seams with powerful fluid strokes. Bending down for tack welding, She advances steadily through dense sparks behind her mask, securing each node with unwavering focus. She reinforces welds from various angles against the green hillside and rudimentary shed. This contrast highlights her raw craftsmanship in a challenging environment. Crouching by the axis, she welds the bearing sleeve to the spokes. This precise joint ensures smooth rotational force transmission. She spins the hub to check stability, then tack welds the opposite pivot. This confirms her alignment, locking the mechanical heart in place. Access welded, she stands and turns the wheel. The massive frame rotates smoothly, rewarding her grueling effort. Static metal awakens into a dynamic machine. She performs a final diagonal tension test to confirm stability, then unplugs the power. This verifies structural integrity, marking the end of manufacturing. She steps onto the concrete platform above the stream where crops are piled. This shift from industrial work to farming highlights her dual role. She walks the edge, weighing down the rain cover with heavy blocks. Her agile movements quickly secure the large shelter, protecting the harvest from the coming storm.